Occupy. Good morning. How's your day going?
Stony _ Eagle just resubscribed for 36 months. Yeah, baby, 3 years bish.
God damn. A good day. God damn. 6 years? 6 years is a long time. 36 months. That is crazy. Appreciate it. Welcome back. Thanks for the resub. I mean, yeah. I mean, 6 years is a long time. Yes, yes. Don't worry about it. It's okay. It's gonna be fine. I made good progress, and then the thing crashed, and now I'm in fix loop, which is annoying. Gonna be fine. We have been challenged. Not directly, but we have been challenged. And today being officially Creation Day, we will take on the challenge. I'm gonna disclose the challenge in a second, but I need to kind of go over some of the changes that happened on the apps, because that's what we do in the beginning of the stream. And Stony, it's good that you're here now. I need to say something specific to you. Thank you. Last time you said something, last time I explained basically what was happening with the app kind of taking a ton of resources and not really working as expected, kind of like all that. You said something in one message. I don't know how. My brain remembered. And I tried to implement what you said, which you probably forgot already. And it works. Now it's much better. So I appreciate it. Thanks a lot. You don't know what you did, but you did something. And yeah, we good now. So basically, it's a combination of what you said last time and what I watched on YouTube kind of earlier days ago, like basically on Monday. And it's basically, there was a video that was republished by Apple on YouTube that is called Understand and Eliminate Hangs. And so what they call the hang is basically when the UI is unresponsive because something is happening on the main threads. And you said, could you not do things on the main thread and basically push that off to something else or running in the background, something like this. That's basically what I did. And now it's not necessarily, I don't know if it's a worker. I don't know, maybe. I don't know how it works in iOS specifically. But now basically what happens is the entirety of the, also I implemented like a thing that is making a lot more sense. That's a detail. But the entirety of the app is downloaded from the App Store. And as soon as it's launched once, it's basically storing the data of everything on the user's phone forever until the user decides to clear the cache. And it, in the beginning, it holds mainly the thumbnails because that's like limiting memory usage. I mean, memory usage, data and disk usage. But as soon as the user decides to open a specific place, the content that is supposed to be held on network and only retrieved through network every time is preloaded or basically loaded and held on the phone. So if that person, say, I like this shop, for example, and I'm interested in it, and I just want to look at it, have some information, all of that. It works. But then if they don't do anything and they just hold that without reopening the same restaurant or bar or something in the next 2 weeks, for example, that cache is cleared. So it's saved on device for a certain amount of time. And unless like the user decides to put it in bookmarks, bookmarks are going to be held forever, uh, forever. But yeah, that's a pretty good idea. It also has like a bit of a thing with the database that says that user has defined that this thing is bookmarked, so you will hold and have this with priority, basically, if the user changed phone, has a tab, like just reloaded on the new phone. But basically what happens is now the scroll view at the bottom is way more responsive. It's not as laggy as it was earlier, because earlier last week on one day, the entirety of the feed was constantly checking the iCloud CloudKit services to check if there were some updates on places, and that's not a good idea for a fixed content app. So that's a good thing. And now earlier today, which was the fix loop that I just did, was the addition of like, for example, if I'm here, I have some content that is displayed at the top, specifically like the description. This one is a non-by me description, like an automated description. Right now, because I opened the place details, it is stored on device, and it is stored as if this was the truth or source of truth for that data. Right now, I also implemented something that makes sure that if there is an update on CloudKit, it's going to be fetched automatically. Nonetheless, it's always fetching everything on launch of the app. That's a good thing. And then the last one is the reviews by users. If it's saved now, like these ones aren't, but the new one are going to be saved and held in CloudKit instead of coming back from Google Places every time. So that's going to be stable to an extent. Momo, hi, welcome in, welcome back. How are you? How have you been? How's everything? All right. That's pretty good. I'm really happy with what I kind of achieved. It's not as good as I wanted it to be, but it's working. It's working. That's the most important thing. That's the good news for this one. Second good news, because obviously we can't stop coding. I'm not coding. But this one now has a better streak maintenance system. It wasn't really working earlier last week, and it took like this amount of time to check and make sure. If you were a user of the app, which I appreciate you, thank you so much. It's really good if you want to learn Japanese. If you were a learner or a user of the app and you wanted to just have your streak tracked, you only had to press the app icon and wait for the app to load and then close the app and your streak was recorded. And I realized that by mistake, because I just I opened the app one day and I saw that my streak was 10 days, and then I did something, as in I did a quiz, and then I went back to my profile and was still at 10 days, as if I did nothing. So I basically like investigated and figured out that technically I was not I was tracking progress for incrementing the activities during a day, but I was basically just calling the track activity method on launch every time. So yeah, if you just wanted your streak, you just tap the app icon, close the app, you're done. Nothing else to do. So now it's fixed, and it took like 3 days because I needed to take as well a day off because now I have the grace period that is updated better. We talked about that on Friday last week. So that's fixed as well, which is really good. And then again, can't stop coding on the Android version here. We now have a better way of opening the dictionaries and a better rendering of the progress per words. But all of these are progressing really fast on all fronts. The three apps, technically these are the same, but three apps. And yeah, I'm also checking and testing dictionaries lately because that's where most of my issues were. This is the most complex part. I'm not addicted. It's just I want this bitch to work. I want this bitch to work for me. That's different. Um, but because I'm working on dictionaries, I am now on the not last quarter, but like I almost have learned 100 words in the basic Japanese um, dictionaries that I have, and yeah, like it's almost. I mean, almost. Almost as if I launch like whichever here, I will kind of probably um, not make a mistake on any of these. So that's really good overall for me. And yeah, good progress. Also, this is an issue. Like you might see that it's currently not green. It's supposed to be green. And sometimes when I come back from a place, it doesn't load as green. And I don't really know why. Ah, it's not supposed to though. It's supposed to be green. Well, that's a fix to fix. Something to fix. Anyways, so as said, we have been halved challenged, not directly, indirectly, and today's a creation day, so we're gonna work on that potentially. This person has said, I don't even know if I can like zoom in enough so that it doesn't really display anything, but yes, that's gonna work. This person has said, anyone who knows how to build this in Figma, they said that as a joke. Joke is the person underneath has said, this is a 3D bookmark animation. There is a sound design behind it, but the 3D bookmark animation is pretty cool. And I have feeling that this is going to be one of the most complex options that we need to do in order to make the animation in Figma. So let me display and show you what I'm talking about. This is, I should have stayed in. This is the animation itself. So it has a spring transition. It also has a lot of teeny tiny elements that are semi-animated. I don't think I would be able to do the shimmery at the bottom. It might be feasible in Figma, but I have doubts. The thing that I did to basically like kind of track and check what was and how it was built is making the fucking video in 2.5 speed to have like basically every frames. When you look at it, it is simply 2.5 states. So the half state is the hover effect in the beginning when you are like basically here. That hover right there is the half state. So that's going to be on hover. This for them specifically is the on click. I don't want to make that on hover. And then you grow and collapse. So that's a very simple overall thing. The only difference, again, it's here, right there. If you look closely, that is bent. It has a teeny tiny amount of bent. It has a teeny tiny amount of bent around here because it is like an S shape. This is not something we will be able to do in Figma directly, just because that's going to imply mask and mask transition, and that's not an option. But nonetheless, I took the screenshot that we need as references, and it also has something that I didn't take into consideration, but it doesn't really um, change much, but the placement of the background thing kind of changed based on the states. Like on press specifically, it kind of goes in and then grow back out. I don't think I will do that. But yeah, that's the challenge for today, which is pretty cool. And the sound design is really good as well. So if you are interested in that, I would highly recommend you to take a look at it, just because it looks cool, it sounds cool, and it's impressive. The good thing about that person sharing this video is that they also have shared the code pen version, so that exists. You can see the code, and the reason why we won't be able to do some of the shape of that bookmark thing is because it is like this. In reality, it is really curved, and that is not something that we will be able to do easily. So there's that. That's cool as fuck. But that's where we are. If you same thing, if you want to if you want to go and check the CodePen directly because you are a dev and not designer, this is the CodePen in question. It works really well. But that whole thing to me seems like a 3D based animation. So that's something that would be made in Spline or in 3JS or in something else to achieve like kind of the same result. There is a ton of like changes that I don't know if it's necessary. And here, for example, I don't really know where things are coming from. Other than that, but I don't know what details. So that's gonna be yeah, right. Hi, I had questions for you. how's the website? How are you? How's everything? Are you recovered from the snow? That's gonna be the question. Cybersect, hi, welcome back. So we are gonna start here. Yeah, no, same here. Don't worry about it. I know. Gonna start here, and get the end state first because that's the most important one, and then everything else is gonna be based on the end state. So I need to think about everything that needs to be in there first. Otherwise, it will not have the same names automatically. I mean, I can rename stuff, obviously, but. So I have like 3 states. This one is the in-between. I just took it just to have like a bit of an idea of the gradients that we need to have. But I'm going to do the minimal version first. And maybe after we can add like some of the details and shit. But I'm not. Good. Well, that's a good thing. That is a good thing. So let's see. We have 48 by 48 square around here. That will be, I guess, this. And then that gonna have this. The tad of radius. I'm guessing it's the same radius for all, which is not gonna be 8. Obviously. Yeah, it seems to be 3 for everything except the points, which are probably at like 0.2 or something, but they are a tad bit, you know, tad bit. This is debatable. It seems to be kind of 2 instead of 3. Nonetheless, it doesn't really matter. This whole animation is going to be filled with mask. It's going to be weird. It's going to be weird. So we have this. This is going to be our mask background initial thing. That's the base. We know for a fact that this background thing is going to be in the background. So this is a secondary option or secondary version of this thing, which is going to be a bit wider. I'm going to just duplicate it and call that white. It could have been called background, but yeah, you know, debatable. And then that is going to be shorter in both directions. I feel like this is going to be okay for now. The distance seems kind of real, like kind of wrong. And it has that S shape that we could do, but no. I mean, for the white one, we could. It's not really an issue. It's just annoying. Yes, that's it. It's just annoying. That is the whole reason. This is going to be 1 by here, 1 by here. That point is going to be kind of curved. I guess I'm going to need these to be points in both directions. That is going to be straight down. The anchor points are going to be what makes the S shape, basically. And then these ones, I'm going to bump them up. Basically curve the top. And I think that's going to be pretty good. Maybe this can go down a tad to make sure that they kind of work, but that's basically it. For the S shape. Not for the whole thing. For the S shape in the background, that's basically it. We have that. It's pretty good. It's not perfect, but it's pretty good. I think the shadow is going to be a bit of an issue as well, obviously. But we will see. This, again, as I said, I'm going to make a frame out of this because this specific element is going to be a mask. And we are going to have everything as elements that are sliding in and out. So in here, I'm going to have a simple rectangle to take every so slightly the entire fucking thing. That is going to need to have a lot of height in order to get us the transition that we need to have. If you look at it here, there is a high transition in the way that the color is coming in. So going back to this thing, it has a lighter color at the top, obviously, and the lighter color is not necessarily shown immediately. So there is like a multiple layers of masking that needs to happen in order to make us get that similar rendering, I would say. Nonetheless, doesn't really matter here. The only thing that we need is making sure that this element that is going to be this thing and these two are behind the image itself, main image. I'm going to lock this thing. It's not really an issue. And then that is going to take a regular linear gradient. That's the word I was looking for. And I'm just going to do that, you know. really much classical things. Seems pretty good so far without really looking at it. And it seems like a pretty good overall transition. And then we will need a secondary mask out of this one. So I'm thinking if we have like a second one, that's the name of secondary. Um, take a look at that in a second. We can have, let's remove that, and then so that this top one is at 0%, and that is at 50%. What did I say? 50%. And so that is going to be a mask for this. I think that should be good. Should be good. Yes. Yes, that is pretty good. So that mask rectangle thing needs to be, I'm guessing, way taller, right? We need it to be somewhere around here so that we can move it further up so that it doesn't really clip. Right, we need that here. Seems pretty good. That's really bad in terms of gradients, but you know, so far that's a pretty okay thing. I don't really care. Transition that shadow. So in here though, because that's pretty important, in that specific frame, this is the bookmark element. In the frame that is masked, we will have that frame that is masked. We will have something that is going to be above. So that is the question. Yes, I need a rectangle, but I need a rectangle around here, which needs to be like outer there, but it needs to still be above, but still inside, like basically here, but without really being masked with this. That's going to be a bit of an issue if I can't do that. Oh, gonna be it. This is going to be a bit bigger than the initial, not that much bigger, but a bit bigger. And it's going to have multiple things. It's going to be an outline thing with probably like 16, not, sorry, probably like 6, not 16, or 4. I guess 6 is going to be pretty fine for now. And we're going to use the border custom to have 0 on the left side and 0 on the bottom as well, so that it just take our corners. And this whole thing, I'm guessing it's going to be 4 now instead of anything else. It seems like 4 is going to be better. That is going to be probably black with a gradient or layer blur to have like that transition. And the goal here, if we can achieve this, is going to have to get this element. God damn it. God damn it. To move out of the way, like somewhere around here, when it's not hovering, and move in when it's hovering. Thank you for the glitch. Appreciate it. That's my hover state. That's my content. That's my mask number 1. So that's the reveal. Reveal mask. Whatever. And that's my color scheme. And I will probably need then a duplicate of this mask to not be a mask. I know. To get this one to be my regular color ones. And so this is gonna be basically this color. Right? It's gonna be this with a stroke. That stroke is gonna be a stroke of 1, and that stroke of 1 is gonna be that color here. It is a bit darker. I'm fearing 1. I feel like 1 is gonna be way too visible for some reason. Yeah. Yeah. That's probably gonna be a 1.7. 0.7, sorry. Eh. We'll see. We will see. So, God damn it. What did I do? Oh, dang. So now we have the intermediate, which we don't really care about. That's for sure. And we need to move that back down. If we have that whole thing on top. And I need this whole thing to be duplicated everywhere. So 1 here and 1 here in the same spot. And now the white version is going to go minimized. Figma did something some days ago, and now it doesn't work as well as earlier, but like right now it kind of feels like it works. So this is going to be around here. Lower placement, full length, like underneath the gray version. And then here, what we want to have is our mask for the reveal on both. So, mask reveal, and then want this to be like really much at the bottom, not revealing any color. And we want that entire thing to be lowered. God damn it. Somewhere around where they are supposed to be. And then on this one, we want our hover frame to be coming in. Probably somewhere around here. This is kind of strong, but for the sake of trying right now, I think that's going to be pretty good. So, on hover, on this one, we're going to have a transition to this. So, while hovering, on click on this, we're going to activate this. And on click, and I forgot to do smart animate on the first one. Sorry about that. That's wrong. That is wrong. And then on this one, on click, we want this to go back there. There is a hover state in the activate format, but also, you know, hey, I don't care. So that is tiny. How is that so tiny? Makes no sense. I see. Oh, I see. That's the reason. That's pretty good for start transition. Pretty good. There is a lot of shadows that are missing, and there is a lot of things that are missing, but that's pretty good. Have a good offline recovery time. Take care of yourself. Thanks a lot for stopping by. Appreciate it, as always. As always. Mine is too. I can agree with that. So this transition here, instead of having an ease in and out, we kind of need to have like some sort of a bouncy, but slow, but more bouncy. I mean, it's a bouncy like this kind of thing. Kinda. That's too much. Let's do bouncy slow. And for the sake of not having all of that fucking spam in the background, let's add this to get our shape right. God damn it. Bitch. Alright. Force of habit. That will cost me my employment. I know. I don't care. I do not care. I guess this needs some sort of a gradient right now, but also I don't think it's a good idea. I'm also gonna do that because I can. And seems to be a bit lighter in the center than it is in the corners. So, you know, pretty good. That is going to be applied to all of them so that we have the same background everywhere. And then these are going to be placed. Both of these have the background, which is pretty good. And let's make sure that it's there. Good. That is going to take here 32, 40. Let's get rid of that. Ooh, that's bad. You know what? Let's not get rid of that. Let's still have them. Let's unlock them so that I can move them and just pull them out so that I have the reference above and that will be much more, make way more sense. Oh, interesting. I apparently moved this not far enough. That transition is kind of weird. And that blue is really bad. I agree with that. I agree with that. That's because we don't have the shadows. We don't have shadows. So it seems that background here, that gray background here and here, probably need some sort of a darker color instead of that fill color. So it seems to be similar, but I'm guessing it's either that or it's this. That lighter color here that is not as light as it's supposed to be, or the transition direction that is not as further down as it's supposed to be. So I'm gonna just do that. Very simple. Guess I need just one instead of two of them to get like the nice transition. And it also seems, as far as I can tell, it is a radial instead of being something else. So I'm gonna do radial here and hope for the best. That seems a tad better. The other thing that I'm seeing is that it already has some sort of an inner shadow to get like the in attempt to add this on the inner. We're gonna select both of these to make the transitions and the effects at the same time. That way we don't really need to think about it. The reason why I'm not using the inner shadows as well for the corners, like the sides, is because this is seemingly not working in Figma. Like the transitions are going to be kind of broken if it's not like that. So, 0 in Y, 0.7 in blur, 100% in black. 1 of blur is not. Yeah, that's weird. That's weird. I can't have that with the mask. Good to know. And then this. Is not working. Oh no. Because it's here. That's the reason. This drop shadow here, which I should have done on the other one, it's fine, is supposed to be white, and that's going to be the highlight for the borders. So we're going to change that to a blur of probably 0.5, and we should have a spread, but that's not an option. Right here, it's going to be something like this. Let's see if I can copy that effect and drop it here. Yes, I can. A tad strong. Gonna be okay. It is gonna be okay. I kind of want to change the inner color here to make it like darker, not too much, but like a bit darker. So it gives us that transition. And let's just check. Right? Looks better pressed. That shadow is not a shadow yet. Like it needs to be way lighter. And also it kind of needs to be blue for consistency's sake with everything. That's a bit too blue. But yeah, also, Larkham, you said that you wanted my eyes earlier today. I saw that notification and then didn't open Discord. Designer Joel, hi, welcome. How are you? Who are you? How did you find the stream? Thanks for chatting. I appreciate it.
Design Angela is now following.
Thanks for the follow. I appreciate that as well. God damn. Touching Figma stream. Well, we are not many. We are not many. But I'm here. I mean sad, no. Not sad. I don't like this. That pisses me off. It's a recreation of this video that was posted yesterday. Yes. Yesterday. And so, because some of the people that were replying here have been saying, not this one, anyone knows how to build this in Figma, even though this was like a joke. I kind of want to, showcase that it is feasible. Yes, you can do that. That needs to be way less sharp. Which is going to be way less sharp. I fear it's going to be one at a time. It's really sad. 0.5 is going to be fine. Be way less sharp. Are you, I mean, I'm guessing you are a designer as well, based on your name. What do you specialize in? If you specialize in anything. Ugh. That's bad. That is so bad. You are in UX, cool. You are in the same camp as me, apparently. Let me take that. I don't think this is a good idea. Am I still gonna do it? Probably. That's so bad. If I do that, the corner radius changes is gonna kind of fuck up Figma's auto transition. So there's that. And as said, a border is needing gradient. It's asking for gradient. It needs gradients. Maybe a tad more than that. Not that much more. I use Contra for 3 years, I think, almost. However, I have mostly used it as the hiring side, as getting a designer to do something for me rather than getting hired. I have tried to like apply to jobs and opportunities and things that are on Contra. No real success. That's kind of sad, but you know, it's okay. We can deal with that. I was on Upwork in 2016. Like Upwork 5.0, like in the beginning of the era. And at the time, I didn't have, I still had experience, but not as much interest. So, not success there. Oh, multiply is going to be pretty good. That might be a tad too strong though. Yeah, yeah. To be honest, with the amount of time that I've been trying to be a freelancer, which in the past 20 years, it's been a while, it's been a lot, but every time the issue is the same, where it's not that, but that's weird. It doesn't work. Like there is no real platform or specific platform that is really good for freelancers, and the best place for freelancers is still your hometown, where in the beginning at least you just go out to the bakery that is down the street and that just has a bad website or a bad flyer or a bad poster or something. And you say, well, I'm doing design stuff. Are you interested in having like a professional do something for you? Maybe they say yes, maybe they say no. But like people that are in the community or in the village, town, city that you're living in are more likely to say yes and attempt to work with you than anything else. But that's something. But I haven't found any platform that were like, oh yeah, that works 100%. That we are sure of it. It's really good for designers. So far, not happening or haven't happened yet. Kinda sad. Good. Something is pissing me off. I think I know what it is. It's the light in the background in the image. But that's... I feel like these two are okay. Like there is a gradient as well. Like from here to here, there is a bit of a gradient in the background. Not much, but enough. Like you can see with the picker, so that there's gonna be there, and then god damn it, force of habit, and then there's gonna be that. I'm gonna try to not take the fucking shadow with it. That helps. The smidge. The smidge. I think Contra has been pretty good overall, like for designers in as a general term. I think we've had like a good success. It's just some of their latest decisions have been kind of debatable for me, where most of the content that they are showcasing or providing is them shortlisting the designers or the sales or the people that you would like to have. I don't really see as employee side. I don't really see a lot of people that are like applying to jobs and I, as the employee, receive their application. I know that I have applied to a lot of other positions, and I'm 100% sure that these people didn't receive what I have sent. So I'm sad about it. I feel like Contra should make a bit of a better job into ensuring that the people that are like kind of trying to get a something starting kind of do, but it's just I don't know. It's kind of weird. It's kind of weird. Let me do one here, or let me do 0.5 here, and a one there. Just darken the top a smidge. It's gonna be bad. It's gonna be bad for the transition. I know. I know. Bracing myself for it already. Yeah. There's something I don't like about this. A tad too strong. I mean, it's pretty good when I'm looking at it from far away, like here. It seems pretty good. Okay, to this. The main issue here is the shadow. That is going to be almost impossible to achieve properly and have done good. Like that's just not feasible without having like multiple layers. It is feasible, but not easily feasible without having multiple layers. I kind of need to have like a shape that is really much wrapping and then, you know, all that, because it is the shape that needs to happen here as the shadow. But that overall isn't really friendly, god damn it, to pitch, to transition in Figma. Like that's not gonna work. I know that for a fact, which is sad. I wish Figma fixed their shit. What? That's gonna be here. Basically, it's gonna be in the background of that, gonna be placed around there, and then it needs to be blurred with a gradient. Simply gonna be this with regular gradient going to, I'm guessing 0% on this one to ensure that we have like the right transition. And it's gonna be kind of black around there, but it's not gonna be black here. That overall gonna get the layer blur And I'm pissed about this. Like that. Kinda like that. Yes, layer blur is not gonna work entirely as expected. We kinda need like a transition for this. Why? Why transition for this? Reason for the transition is because this is sharp and this is faded. Yes, that makes a lot of sense. That's how shadow works. So, bring that back a smidge and let's add 2 of blur, I guess. Gonna be my main thing. Break that point around here so that we have the kind of tip around there. That makes sense. It doesn't bleed too much. That's gonna need to have like the right colors in order to make it work. I'm gonna use that as our initial base. And I'm gonna use that at 0%. So it really blends in. Now, I fear really the transition for this. Like this is really gonna be pretty good transition. Yeah, that's gonna be bad. Yeah, I don't think much, but yeah, I don't think that's gonna be a good idea. Mm. Maybe by keeping the blur around here. Yeah, you saw that, right? I saw that. You saw that. That element right there. If I click on it, it it basically blurs and then focus. God damn it. Ah, result is pretty good though. Result is pretty good. Let's clip that as in lock these layers and then work on these. I want the white one right here. And I think a drop shadow could work. Kind of help with a bit of a negative around here to almost force the placements of that top level thing. Could needs to be a tad bit lower, but you know, good. I wish Figma had like the ability to give you gradient shadows because that exists, or red for shapes that are not supposed to be there. That different thing. Put that kind of more in. Maybe that's gonna break everything. Yeah, that shadow is, uh, I don't want to do that. It's the blur. Figma and blur just don't, they don't like each other. I'm sad about it. So, no shadow. Ah, no main shadow, but we will probably need at least that white section to be taking that gradient, that's for sure. Like it needs it. No question about it. It starts here, we have some white right after, almost pure white. Then we have a bit of a blue, that makes sense, has a bit of a highlight. Goes back to somewhat gray, lighter elements, and then it ends up in somewhat white. Not so white, but still white around here. That gives us the bulge. If we take a look at it closely, this is going to be kind of higher to match the highlight. Yes, let me move this bitch. Thank you. And I guess there's a bit of a difference in the gradient color as well, because of how the whole thing is working. So I'm gonna just add that with this color as radial gradient, inverted, with that around here, circular, it's some sort of a shadow at the bottom. Makes more sense. And a white version of that same thing, 100% pure white, radial. Why did they always do that? That makes no sense. Figma, if you're listening, as always, which you're not, but you know. Why, when I do a radial gradient, do you put the center of the radial transparent? It makes no sense. Makes no sense. If I want a radial gradient, I'm probably going to need the center to be the most vibrant elements, not anything else. So, you know, maybe fix that. Could be nice. Could be nice. That's better. The shadow in the background is really shit, but that's okay. I can deal with that. So, in order to deal with that, by the way, I need to do that. This thing needs to be somehow another fucking shape. So, this is basically this. Right? I'm not gonna get pretty. I don't need to. I mean, I do need to, but I don't need to. And that gonna be around here. That. Okay. That's bad. That is bad. I don't think changing it from a Like what I'm saying is I don't think getting rid of this is gonna help. Like it could, but I don't think it will. Like it's still blurred and then it unblurs itself. So that result of being blurred makes more sense, at least for me. And then the other thing that we have is this blue shape. Kind of gonna need work. Some work. I think there's a texture and all that needs to happen. So that adds some noise to it. You know, regular activity. Kind of helps. Kind of helps. It's probably going to break in the transition, but it is better. It gives me a bit more informations, and then it needs technically to have like the god damn it, the shadow. The shadow that is blue shadows on top of this. There's a ton of little details that needs to happen as well, but that's not going to be feasible here. So, in here, do I do that? I guess I'm going to do that. That's going to be fine. So straight up, down, there, there, there. I doubt this is a good idea, but you know, why not? What not? God damn it. But that needs to have that needs to have some sort of a dotted line effect thing and a gradient that will take multiple passes. So we have one pass around here, that's for sure, and another one at the bottom. But these ones are gonna be these colors, like really bright. That center is gonna be almost invisible. So there, and then the top is gonna be almost white. Almost white right here. That we have the whole thing. The transitions are gonna be what makes it realistic? If we could call that realistic, I doubt it. And then, as said, this is gonna need to be dashed, so that it has the stitches. This is like a stitched feathering thing. Kind of regular, rounded, and I'm tempted. I am tempted. Oh, that's too much. It helps a smidge. Not enough, but a smidge. I think what is really broken is the blue itself, the blue transition. So, yeah, let me check though. I mean, that kind of works. It doesn't seem to appear from anywhere else. That's the thing. That transition is really bad though. That one, that thing needs to be custom. Like that. We need that to be somewhere around here. Yeah, but it needs to not debounce that much. Like it. Otherwise, the fucking, you know, that that happens, and we don't want that. Um, that's the thing that I wish we had, mainly for like specific elements. Like that's not a thing. You can't really have the white section having a very specific transition and the blue section having a very specific transition unless you decouple them. That's not gonna work. Not there. Not there. We need a tad bit of that for sure to get our bounce. I kind of want this, which is really, really wrong. But for the sake of that reveal mask, I'm gonna expand it. And check. Sorry. That is wrong. Wrong. So wrong. So, I think the length to have it as beautifully transitioned, it seems to take like a longer time overall. So I'm gonna take the overall length to be 1200, which is my regular amount, and that might give us the transition that we need for that kind of background to kind of work. However, that reveal for the color is really, really fast to me. It works though, specifically with the white background. But yeah, that reveal is really strong, really quick overall. So, can we make it better? That's better. We don't pay attention to this fucking shadow right there. It's better. I am tempted again to add a bit of a shadow to that element specifically. But I also feel like this is not gonna necessarily work in our favor. So let's check. That's not gonna work. Cool. I feel like this shadow is gonna be pretty good, but not there. The reason why I have it, why I kept it, I would say, in these two as well, because it needs to be reduced and like minimized at like 0%. Thank you. So it's not visible. Malcolm, you didn't answer my question earlier. What do you mean? What do you need me for? You sent me a message earlier. And you did, and that's okay. That's not good, but it's okay. Specifically, this thing is really bad. Like it. I don't like it. Um, I don't think I can do that. That's the thing. I would need this again. But above, um, with no background and probably like a 0.2 or something, maybe a 0.3. I know I'm working with really, really wrong values right now. I'm aware. I is aware. Darkening everything, and then there is like the highlight here and here, which are basically white, and the top is a tad bit lighter. So I could take that gradient and make that a tad bit lighter thingy. Then the rest is just going to be dark, you know, here. Hey, man, fix your shit. Makes more sense already. 0.4 probably is going to be better. And then on top of that, we want, I'm going to go pure white for now. It's going to be easier to see and match. Radial, reversed with point of highlight right here, small, circular, and then secondary point of highlight at the bottom. Like that thing here. Right? That gives us a bit of the curve effect that we talked about. And we talked about that earlier. Not good, but it's something. That whole thing could be in an overlay fashion or in a soft light fashion type of thing to not be that, like, that distracting. I need to be distracting though. If you've never known, this dot right here, this dot is the angle at which things are. If you change this, it basically changes the radius of the gradient, radial gradient that you have. So you now have an oval that is going from this point to this point in width, so on both sides, then from this point to this point in length on both sides as well, so that you can have something extremely, extremely sharp if you wanted to. So, for example, if I go to here, I can really have something that is a transition. I mean, that is really, really, really sharp, which is not exactly what we want, but that's a good thing to have in your head. You're kind of working with this. Fix it right there, because that's wrong. It's wrong. Also, Figma is struggling right now. Absolutely struggling. But that color specifically is supposed to be this. So I'm gonna keep that on the other side. Small details. It's gonna break. It's gonna be fine. Sorry. Yeah, I guess other than the texture and the transition at the top here, we kind of good. We are kind of good. Like there is obviously the bottom section that needs to have like a bit of a whole thing on top. So like that is supposed to be really lighter and gradienty right there, you know, all that. I think it's that transition that pisses me off the most because it makes no sense. It does. It makes sense. But it makes no sense, you know? It's less saturated than what we had. So it doesn't really work. And then there is one that is right there in the center that gives us a slightly darker tint right about here. So I think that's a lot of gradients. That is a lot of gradients. I guess. I don't know if I would say that this is done, right? But for the... How long have I done that? 20, 30 minutes that I've been on this. I feel like that's pretty good. That background is just, it's just so bad. It can only do that. Like I can't get the whole smooth transitions, and the whole wavy thing, you know, like that. So, what? As a base, it's pretty nice. The transition on reverse is really bad though, but I don't have a choice. I do have a choice. I'm deciding to not make that choice. Can I do that? I forgot if I could. I kinda can, I see. I can reverse the whole thing. That's pretty good. That is pretty good. Yeah. I guess it's a matter of like adding textures to this to make it work, to get like these fabric overall, well, textures. That's the fucking word. So let's see if Unsplash has a ribbon fabric. I guess that red one was pretty good. Not threads, just macro. Silk. Silk, but flat. I'm asking a lot. I know. I know. I know. Yeah, I guess this is pretty okay. Um, yeah, that's gonna be it. Like that red wine is the only one that is pretty flat. This one is pretty good as well. So pretty nice. So this gonna go on top of that, and it's gonna take tint in the blue department, in the cold department. Can I get it lighter? Yes. Then I make it cropped so that we have that highlight at the top around the same spot right there. And then we're going to take that as an overlay. E. Give us a more fabric-y thing, you know? Debatable. Debatable. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I think what would make it better is the overall, like, border for things, the fact that it has, like, an edge, or they all have an edge. They have subtle shadows here and there that I can see. If I was just recreating that still frame, it would be good. But trying to get all sort of transition, it doesn't work. So yeah, that's also what pisses me off. Like that top section is dark and light at the same time because of the inner shadows that needs to happen. So it's roughly like as if I was insetting this. Like that? Not really, but you know. So, like I would need to do roughly this. And then that, take a 0.2, maybe. Yeah, it looks worse. That looks worse. But yeah, these details could be good, could be added, but also, you know, waste of time. I mean, this whole thing is a waste of time. Don't worry about it. I don't know why you are still there. You're not supposed to be still there. I can see the whole thing. It's fine. It's okay. I've done better works before, but no time. Anyways, what did you send me? God damn. I'm guessing, Stony, I'm guessing this is animated as a background, or is it static? It looks static. God damn it. Ah. So you have a Twitch Connect, which is pretty cool. It basically gives you the ability to get settings in there other than like do you define the commands and the reactions and the things in there? Is that the plan? I'm guessing this is the plan. Or is it something just for you when you like mod? Just for you so that you have access to like all the chats of all the platforms that you need to follow and mod at the same time to reach that the ID. That could be the ID. I don't know. I'm gonna say something. Design-wise, this is pretty good. This is pretty good as well. It's the same screen. This is debatable for one single reason, which is this background thing is a tad distracting. You made it darker, which is a good thing. Good job on that. But it's when there is content on top, it's a tad distracting. So I would make it even darker. I would still keep it, but make it a tad bit darker. I feel like that would be a better option. At least for me, the goal would be to have the content either really, really visible or really not. But yeah. And then that. No. Not that purple. No. No. I think you're using Tailwind Purple instead of Tailwind Indigo. And yeah. No. No. Let me check. I mean, isn't it the same? That's the question. Like, isn't it exactly already the same as what we currently have? Like the one that is currently logged in here? Like if you type !H, I think yours is reacting. H being like something that doesn't exist. No, it's not the same. I don't know. Hmm. 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 Right. I'll press the button. Is there places where things are sensitive data that I can't open? Just tell me that now. It's you. I'm kind of fine with that. I just know that what could happen is based on the authorization that I gave is you would be able to clear the chat. And that's about it. So, you know. But now, I think if you have like more authorization or more requirements, you need to re-ask for authorization, I think. But I don't know. I do not know. Yeah. What do you mean Midway Island? What do you mean Midway Island? You know what? This is pretty good. It, interesting. Um, yeah, that purple is really bad. Really bad. And this thing, oh, I love this bitch. I know it's not part of the UI. I know. Every time. I just love this fucking interaction. It changes nothing, but it's just so cute. So cute. You know. What's the plan? Search is debatable. What's the plan on this? What's the goal? Is there a goal? Or is it like a simply you thing and you need to just have um, access to multiple channels at once to when you mod for multiple people? Is it that it? These glasses are annoying. Um, yeah, I see. Yeah, I see. Well, I feel like hmm, I feel like some of the tools that Twitch are building um, are going in that direction of making sure that the broadcaster has better mod tools for themselves, but not necessarily for the mods. So I get that, but at least having like the newer one with the shared ban list, the shared kind of words, which is not there, but I think it should arrive at some point. But also, as you said last time, the per channel banned word could be interesting to get. Pretty good idea. It's a pretty good idea. You know. Also, I mean, I know you will probably never click on this link, Stony. But if you do, the reason why I'm saying this is because it is a thread thing. That person has been optimizing performance for the app. I don't know how they figured it out and how it works. I don't know how complex it is, but most and every thing they are kind of sharing about the performance and complexity of their content have been or has been pretty wild. So just taking a look at what they do could be interesting, potentially getting access to their dribble. If they do have one, it doesn't seem to have like much stuff. If you want blue sky, they have a blue sky apparently. But they don't have like any GitHub link where you could kind of look at it and check what they've done, how they did it, you know, all that. Still interesting, good content overall, and that's for this thing. Seems to be pretty good, you know. Seems to be pretty good. That might be something to take a look at for Yan Long, that is building something similar, I think. If I'm not mistaken. I forgot again. But you know, interesting things. And do I have anyone that is working with SwiftUI in the chat right now? I have a question that is SwiftUI specific that I can't find a solution and the reason on the internet. It just doesn't make sense. I've been trying to implement this thing in my SwiftUI app. And the way you do that is you add a dependency to the project, and then inside of your project, you say import sticker, and then you add the modifier to the element. Every time I do that, it doesn't work. And I don't know why. And I can't figure it out. And so this one is, I don't know if it's only working on like computers with mouse and keyboard, because it's like on hover, motion effect, whatever. But it's also like working on iOS 18, so that's kind of the issue that I have. So, you know, it's just annoying. So if you have an ID, I would love directions for this because it's been complicated, and it shouldn't be. Like again, the simplicity of it for iOS packages is basically you go there, you type the URL of the package that you need to have, and I see. I am mod for, I think, yeah. I used to be a mod for more channels, but they went away for reasons. Also, that happens, which is annoying. Like, these two things are supposed to be something, and I don't have any way of fixing this. Are they in there? Like, are they automated in here? Like channels? I mean, it would be good if it was popped in here. Who are the two others? That's the thing. Like Seke and Cat, yes. Is it? Yeah. Of course. I don't remember. Brutal and Ben, I see. Brutal and Ben don't stream, and Seke don't stream anymore. So these three I could kind of get removed from. But haven't. I think I need to fix that, but I can't find the reason for that. The package resolved file is corrupted. But that's not what we want. In my workspace, shared data, I have a package resolved thing. Okay. Yeah, I mean, Brutal is a mod here as well. She is a mod here, and Ben is not. Ben has disappeared from the face of the internet quickly after, which is kind of sad. Was a good designer, and it disappeared. I think moved house, had a kid again, I don't understand this. And lives in the US, therefore struggling with everything. But, you know, maybe just retired. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, that makes no sense. Yeah, but if they decide to come back and I'm still there, that could be fun. You know. What did we say earlier? Dapsy, hi. How are you? I'm not in the fucking right folder in there. God damn. That is not working. Are you working for an iOS app, Dapsy, by the way? Like a native thing? I forgot. I think you just did the panel, but I have a memory of you saying that you were doing something native as well to make it work as an app, but I forgot, obviously, as you can see. Also, I need to fix all of these logs. These are heavy login. Heavy login. No, no good. Yeah, the thing that is weird as well is that the whole system works, as in I can have things that are added, as in Google Maps works and iOS Spaces work, but stickers, when I add stickers, and if I go back to what can I do now? You know what? I guess either here or something else. But in the preview, if I import sticker, you know, not sticker kit, just sticker. That happens. And again, that's what I need. Like ah, I don't need more than that. I just need this. And that needs to work. But for some reason, it doesn't it it doesn't work. But sticker is here, and sticker is already installed. But that makes no sense. That whole thing makes no sense. And I don't understand. I don't understand. So yeah, that's an annoyance. Also, that exists, and it says that the package resolved is corrupted, or something, or malfunctioning, and then there is the unexpectedly did not find a new dependency in the package graph. So that basically means that inside of this, it doesn't find the source for that package, and therefore it can't really install it, is wrong because it did. So I don't know. I'm lost on this one. Kind of lost on this one. Even in there, that makes no sense. I kind of don't want to do that and remove it. Like, delete the file, because that's an option as well. I could remove what it's inside, for sure, and just save it. But that probably is gonna break shit. And, you know, no good. That's the same thing. So I don't know. If you have like an idea, if you know how this works, I would love to know. I would love to know. I'm kind of stuck. I've been stuck on this. I want this fucking effect. I know that sometimes there is like the derived data on the project that can be annoying, so you can just remove them so that it doesn't really like affect anything. But then it just doesn't make any sense. Like when I have that and then I relaunch Xcode to have like the base and potentially like do resolve package thingy like that thing. Breaks. That effect. Lepshy. You know how I love holographic shit? So I need more of that. Yeah. Like it's basically what I have on my like on here. If you go on the, or if you look closely to the badges, if I move my phone, you can see how they kind of, based on the fucking phone orientation, has like that whole movement, specifically the coins, like all of them. You know, bang. So. But then if I try to build, it's gonna give me the same issue again, I guess. If it runs now, I'm gonna be pissed. It doesn't run. Right, that thing is now not working. God damn it. But yeah, I don't know. I don't get it. I don't understand why it's supposed to be simple to add, but I've not been able to add any other packages since then, which is what pisses me off. Makes no sense. Makes no sense. Nonetheless, back to the thing that I was talking about in the beginning of the stream, by the way, because that's an interesting thing, I think, for me. If this wants to launch, which I have doubts, we will see like the impacts are pretty good now. So we used to, yes. Basically on Monday we used to have the whole system on the memory impact or energy impact being in the red 99% of the time. And now, Denny, hi, welcome back. And now we are going back into the high department and sometimes going back into the green of low impact, which is really good. It has not much disk activities, like there is this in the beginning, of course, but that's about it. And then my FPS counters is pretty good. It's just default based on what the system wants. 50 is not that good, but as soon as I'm trying to move like the map, we're going into the 60, 61, whatever. Good so far. And the memory usage is also half of what we had. We had thing about 700 megs at some point, and now we are just at 180, which is pretty good, you know. That's pretty good overall. So yeah, that's good. Good data, good usage, good simplicity, and simplification of the app. So that's really nice. That is really nice. Anyways, details and stuff. Have you done an app yet, Nelly? We've done that before you arrived. Not good, but it's not bad either. But it's not good. It has a ton of issues compared to the official thing, original thing. I see. Good. Yes. I think the invoice is going to be the best option. Also, the lead account works. Nice. I can click the button now. Go there and press that. Good. Good. Now. Good. So now that you have that defined, congrats. That's the first step. It's pretty good. It's necessary. It needs to happen. That's all I need to say. Now, I'm going to go into Pinterest because it's going to be easiest for me. But go into whatever tool you use for references. Dribble is pretty good. Layers, if you still use layers, which I doubt, is pretty good as well. But go in there and look for invoice design or invoice website design or something to give you, like, specifically the invoice generator. I guess generator is going to be pretty good to give you a bit of an idea of what exists, who is already on the market. Would you be able to get something that fix your issues based on these? Like, let's say this is something that you wanted to have and this tool exists. This is dribble shots. I have doubts, but we never know. Like, maybe this is what they have. Maybe this exists. If that exists and it's like fully available, go check what they have done. And then, like, that's basically how I do some market research. Usually, I'm going into Pinterest and Behance and Dribble and checking if there are like tools and platforms that already have the thing that I'm trying to build or do. And then, based on that, I just like make sure that what I'm trying to build is better than what already is on the market. If this one is something, for example, and it matches my style and it matches my content, go on Reddit if you like Reddit as well. Yes. always an option. Always an option. I'm not really not. I mean, I'm not really in that. So I don't know. Yeah. Um, if Reddit is good for you, then yeah, 100%. Use Reddit. That's new. Also, that's kind of bad. It sounds French and a copy of UIA. Where's Diego? Huh? What on? Thank you. I need a post on Reddit. It's just you know. I, I yeah. Another website, another platform. I don't have the mental strength right now to learn a new platform, but I do need to. Um, like the r/learn Japanese, for example, on Reddit is really good. Morton, hi, welcome on it. So it would be good for me to go there and post stuff, you know. Hey. But good, nonetheless. That's basically what I'm saying. It's just go into your platforms of choice for anything, find references and examples of what already exists or what other people have thought about. Potentially, some designers have designed stuff without really creating a product out of it. And you can use that as a reference, as base, as potentials, as ideation of what you have in mind right now that might change in the future. Like maybe you like this design a lot, you know, I don't know. The MVP for an invoice app should give you the ability to build an invoice and export that invoice or send that invoice by mail, I'm guessing. In the initial state, exporting is going to be easier because you don't need to like manage email clients and all that. But I mean, it depends on you and what you want in your tool. But for me, it would need to have, if it's just invoice, a predefined list of the services that the person has based on the predefined list of job titles for freelancers. And then potentially something like a time tracking, manual time tracking, as in like, I'm guessing I'm going way too far. No, not that. Like here, for example, if this is what I have, this is the template that I use sometime. I'm just gonna duplicate this row and change the values, right? So if this is something that I need and I know that I have like that and that, let's put that into another layout so it makes sense. And I'm saying, well, I have like another service that I have done, and so I add this, and then I add this, and then I add this. So I need to have like different services that I have done for that client. And then the rate should be either automated based on something that is in the settings or something that is like market rate. I don't know if you can get that. And then it could just calculate. So things done, time spent, cost per time spent, and then total of everything. That's the MVP. It could be on a sticky note. It could be on whatever design you want. It doesn't necessarily need to be the most beautiful thing that exists. It just needs to work and do the thing that you want to have. So the design itself is not necessary. Like I'm about to say if I could, no, I can. If I move here, for example, and I try to um, run this, I always forget this is how to do it. Uh, Come on, you can do it. It'll be fine. Go ahead. Cool. So this is the thing that I worked on for 30 minutes. Survival. Hi, welcome on. Welcome back. 10th time. Congrats on the confetti. Congrats on the confetti. Welcome back. Welcome back. Good timing as well. Good timing as well. Right, so I have like my time tracking things and my invoices thing. And so if I go into my time tracking, I can have my automatic time tracking, which will, at the end of the day, just track anything that I'm doing. So anything automated activity, like right now, I'm in the compose window, which is what I have right there. If I go into Figma and I just navigate to this thing, it's just gonna track a new app that is currently in focus. You can have like that new unknown thing, and I'm back in the compose window, which is what I have. That's the automated time tracking that I done. And then for the invoices thing, it just goes into manual invoice because I don't have any project done. I can say I have Denny for the client, USD if I wanted to. Maybe I'm paid in euro, and then I add an item. Based on that item, I did some web design. I took roughly 40 to 56 hours on this thing. My rate is $90 an hour. And so that is gonna be like 5K overall. And then maybe I need like to add another item. And so that other item is gonna be maybe not UI, UX, probably gonna be some brand identity. I probably spent I probably spent like 3 hours, 5 hours on that. And that's something that I had. And then I can have like something else. Like maybe I did some illustration for that. It took me like 3 hours or 2 hours. You know, like all of that. And then I can create my invoice. And then I have my invoice around here. It's supposed to be paid. And the thing that I don't have or haven't done in the 37 minutes that I spent on this thing is creating an export option. But that, to me, in terms of creation or invoice creation, is supposed to be as simple as that in the beginning, as in manual thing. And then for automated tracking, it's going to be, if you do want to do that, have your description, define your hourly rate, so maybe $65 an hour, in euros, whatever, and then you have your project. It is active. You want to track your time for that project, and right now it's running. It will just run and track everything that you're doing on that specific project. And so whatever time you spend is running in the background. You don't need to care about it too much. But then when you come back to it, you stop tracking, it basically have tracked everything that you've played with. So that's the thing. I spent 39 to 39. That was manual. And that could be something that is in the taskbar at the top. Yeah. As I said, the base. Also, the main point of me showing you this was to showcase how ugly it looked like shit, right? I'm not even thinking about the design of that. Like I don't give a shit. It's just, it needed to exist. You have something, and then the design can come later. don't understand why you want to pull from calendar, but I also know that I don't use the calendar. So, yeah. Like, that's my calendar. I have my streams that are blocked off. When I have someone that books like a meeting with me, or when I have something that is specific, um, or like Chinese class and other things, it's in there. But I'm not defining in my calendar that on Tuesday the 25th from 10 to 1, I'm going to work on something. That makes no sense to me. Like, that's not how I work. So that's why I'm like, why not? But it's wrong. Like, if I put myself 3 hours of work here, and I say I'm gonna work on the travel guide app for 3 hours. Am I gonna really work on that for 3 hours during the 3 hours, or I'm gonna get a call from my mom in the middle and not be able to do anything because my phone is in use? Am I gonna spend more time on Pinterest for research and purposes? Am I gonna lost time on something else? Am I gonna have an idea for another client and then move to that project and then go back to the initial thing? Am I gonna wait for something on the app to build, and then while I'm doing that, I'm doing like a quiz on the Japanese learning app, and it breaks, so I move to the other project and I'm kind of fixing this while this other things happen, you know? To me, like, that's all that can happen in a day. And so if I can't build. No, I do not do time reports. I worked from that day to that day. But I don't care. Like, it's not about the time I spent. It's mostly about the quality of the thing that I deliver. So, yeah. And if I was doing the time, that, like, that way I know I spent 1 hour and 10 minutes on Q2 or like Q2 overview file in Figma. 1 hour and 10 minutes. It is to the minute. Roughly, there's a bit of a 5 minutes delay. And then if I want to track this specific thing as this was for that client, I can just do that. And also they have like the Timely AI thingy. I don't know if they have renamed it Memory AI thingy, but yeah. I have clients, they are expecting to receive some things by a certain deadline. If they receive it before, they are happier. If they receive it on the day that was expected, and if they receive it later, I'm in trouble. So I don't really care. There is a deadline. The deadline needs to be met. That's about it. That's all I do. Like, this whole thing, again, if I really needed to track the hours by the hours, I would use that. The Memory AI saying that I've been like on specific thing for a specific amount of time, automated by Timely, is like everything I need, and I don't need to think about it. Like it's linked to my calendar automatically. So there is things that are supposed to happen at some times that are pre-filled, basically. But also, it can check that while I'm on that specific Zoom call, I might be doing something else on the side. And that work, it's just automated, you know. So I get it. Also, that's a long ass dip right there. That not what I expected to see. Uh, but yeah, like it's that to me it is that easy on my side of things. It also might be a different price bracket, might be a different um, type of services that you give, but yeah. Um, like that. Lol. Um, like also under time makes no. I mean, it it is the same thing that I said last time, and I said that many times, and I'm not the only one to say that. But like, if I'm paid by the hour, I'm gonna take as long as I can to be paid as much as I can. And like, if at the end of the day you need to do like a daily report, I would just say I worked on that, and that today, and that's it. Like, not necessarily specifying X project, whatever, something else. You know, I wouldn't. I think I would just do. Yeah, I worked on this and this today, and I need to work on this tomorrow if I really needed to do like some reporting. But the reporting that we had in my previous startup was at the beginning of the day. We had like the team meeting thingy where just we took officially a stand up, which take like 5 minutes that turns into 15. Um, and you just say that yesterday you did this and today you're gonna do that, or yesterday you worked on this and today you're gonna work on this again because you're not done yet. So I mean, I'm going into the most essential thing for the client most of the time, which is that guy Bruce. Hi, welcome in. Who are you? Who are you? How did you find the stream? Thanks a lot for chatting. Appreciate it. You know, it just like the client wants something to be done, and and like I have stuff to do in order to have their things done to be done. And so I do the things. And then if they want some reporting, I'm going to say, well, I'm not done yet. I'm working on that. And then we have this to do still. And that's it. And so for you, you said that your days are 8 hours more like you're working on a company, which means you shouldn't report by the hours. You should just say, I worked on this feature. I worked on this page. I worked on this thing. I figured out that something is not working. And yeah. Well, if you probably talked with PG about that, it's okay. As in, he used to do that. I kind of did that when I was in Japan, and the rest of the team was in France. Obviously, like the time difference. But he used to do that at the same pace. I think when he was working remotely, he had the end of day Loom recording, where every time at the end of his day, because of the time zone difference, he sent or he recorded something saying, well, today I worked on this, this, and that. I'm in a bit of a pickle here. This is kind of not working, so I need some feedbacks on this. And I have finished this thing. It has been validated by the devs, so it should be good for production. And that's like a 5 minutes video maximum. I think their goal was like 2 to 3 minutes tops, but that happens sometimes. It was posted in the Slack, and then that's it. So I don't think it's an invoicing problem. And again, I don't know how many things you're working on any given day, different things. But if at the end of your day you can't recall what you've worked on that day, maybe it wasn't your best work. Maybe you were just like, ah, so debatable. Debatable. But yeah, pretty good. Pretty good. We are doing pretty good. Just adding that instant. Yeah. I mean, you're working alone on the design stuff, but you're kind of working with the team, to give them the things. I know you are currently counted as a internal contractor, right? Like that's the weird situation that you're on. Not really a weird situation, but it is weird. And I think you should work with others. Not at the same time, not in the same thing, but like involve the rest of the team and potentially be proactive in what you're sharing at the end of the day. So the Loom video is pretty good. Like, let's say today I'm getting a job in Japan, and I need to share what I've been working on when I was in France. Still the case. In different time zone. And while they were sleeping, I did all of that. And then now that they are waking up, they can see what I've done and what I've planned for the day for them to do all that. Because I'm also like a different level of managing situation. So I would do that. I would say, well, this is the task at hand. This is the thing that we need to do. I'm gonna be back in office hours by the time you are like midday-ish, and then we can have the rest of the day together on Slack, on whatever. But yeah, like if you don't need yeah, therefore you don't need any reporting. You don't need anything. If you have a task or a project to solve and you solve it, that's it. Like I think that's the like I don't think you need the invoicing, tracking, automation of when you worked on what based on your calendar thing. So I think the easiest thing would be for the app that you have in mind. The easiest thing would be big ass buttons, like shit like this, like my smart home screen with task or projects or thing that you were supposed to work on this week, this month, this quarters. I don't know how ahead, like if you are like way ahead on the thing that you are supposed to check or have or receive, yes. But if you're not, like if you know on the week, you can just create that on the Monday when you receive your task for the week. And then you have your buttons. And then at the end of the day, you just you say, well, I worked on this and I worked on this, and like it's just that easy. maybe that's all you need. Rather than trying to track time and connect with your calendar and all that. It's not necessarily automated, it's just like you have the content there and then you tap big ass buttons at the end of the day. Like you're like, ah, I worked on that, and that. And then maybe you can have like a swipe um, that says this is done. So that sends to invoice something like calculate send to invoice. But even then, I don't think it's necessary based on your use cases. Like it's really like your use case. Um, like yeah, I think like that would be easiest thing because you only have to do that at the end of the day. Tarek and hi, welcome on in. You all have confettis today. Congrats. Congrats. Impressive confettis. Um, a whole 10 times, yes. Same. Um, so yeah, again, I think this is the most simplified option. If you want something that is even more simplified with that, you would have to need, that makes no sense. You would need to have, much better, an integration with Chris. Hi, welcome back. How are you? An integration with Google Calendar. I'm guessing you're using Google Calendar or Gmail for your emails. And that is pretty easy to set up. Like you just go into Google Cloud Console and just create an API key and then use that. And you could say create a big ass button based on the entries of my calendar for the day. But then again, I mean, for the week would be much better to me. Um, like it is, maybe you are more structured than me, which seems to be the case. But with the example that you gave, if you as the manager give me things to do and things to solve, and I need to work on that specific week, let's say you are giving me 10 tasks that I need to complete by the end of the week. My process is not going to be task 1, task 2, task 3, and so on. It's going to be read all the tasks. This one seems fun. Let's start with that. And then while I'm doing this, because I've read all the tasks, I'm seeing the other thing that I need to do in my head. And I'm like, oh yeah, while I'm doing that, I have the same component I need to use on this thing. So let's just duplicate the screen and then do that as well. And so I can't specify like in my calendar that I have worked or that I need to work on these 3 tasks specifically, or these 3 projects specifically. Um, it's mostly gonna be scattered around on any given day. And going back to what I said earlier, the amount of time that I go from uh, this to this on the same day to build like some features that I need to have on one or the others, and just switching code base, moving to something else, fixing something that I just found out, going back to the other code base immediately because now the thing is fixed. I'm good. I can publish something. It is chaos. It's chaos. But it works. At the end of the day, the fucking deadline is met, and I don't have to think about it. So I think that's the thing. The easiest potential. That's wrong again for my head. for my brain, only for my brain, not wrong for you, wrong for my brain. But like, the easiest thing would be to create some sort of a um, Apple Watch rings system that tracks what you are trying to do. Um, like, or technically what you've done would be much better. Um, I mean, with your specific current state of things, I don't think you need um, transparency and visibility on what you're getting paid for based on many factors. You've been working with them for a long time. You deliver on time every time. You deliver good work every time. And by now, they trust you. So you can be a bit less transparent and just in the flow and not think about whatever you've done on that day or, all that. Or the simplest thing, like it's just 2 minutes from you at the end of the day in a Slack message. I've done this, this, and that. I'm still working on this. Easiest way of implementing it. So you could automate it with like potentially, I don't think it's true, but if you're that organized, good on you. Might be the ADHD on my side. I don't know. I don't have an official recent diagnosis. So was diagnosed a long time ago, but not again. Like yeah, that's I get it. um, but that's not an app. That's an integration with Slack, or probably an integration with Zapier. And yeah, I think that would be way easier for you, by the way, right now, based on all the things that you're saying, to just do that. You say, when Slack message, add line to Google Sheets. Like, roughly that's it. And with the free pricing, you may be able to get that running for free. With like one thing running with 100 tasks per month, which would be your task, I think, would be at the end of any day, you check that specific Slack message or Slack channel. And if you have anything that starts with a bracket something, it works. If you want to go with the more intricate front end, you would need to go into the API thing. Like right now, this is just, it works. Like, God damn. That's not working. if you just want to create an interface, or if you want to create a Zap, which a Zap is better, but like I don't really know how their interface or apps works. I'm guessing it's pretty simple. Um, but you can have an automation and create something that create like a table, which basically would be an invoice. And they probably have some things, you know. Um, but that needs to be in the paid plan, apparently. I would love to take a look at it rather than getting fucked right there. Nonetheless, it probably exists. It's probably an option uh, to do here as well. Like this one that is running for me. Pretty simple. If I have a new client that is signing up on the website, it automatically create a duplicate of the Trello board, and then that way I can just send them the thing by hand, because that's a one more step that I can't have. But, you know, I think the thinking and the inspiration that you have is pretty good. However, it's just you are still in the everything is free department, which it's not. Most of it is in the beginning, but it's not. And yeah, there are things that you could do and you could automate and you could have for free right now without having to build a tool to create something, to manage data, whatever. Like you could just, you know, create a connection from Google Calendar API to an app is going to require a bit of work already. Pretty easy with AI overall. Like it's a pretty easy thing to do, but nonetheless, not nothing. And in the front end of it, if it's an app, or if it's a website, different stuff. If it's just a website, I mean, to me, there is so much things that lie in my head when you say, I want this thing to be as automated as possible. My head went into Make.com, Zapier, IFTTT, all of these automation tools that already exist that have like free plans, first thing. And then the second thing is, if you really want to build something for yourself, cool. But it's going to require way more time on your hands than what you currently have. It also implies way more things that you haven't even thought about just yet. That's the first thing. And the second thing is you're going to build it for yourself, which is good. But if you think about it as building it for others, you will use it. You will get something that is more broad and less specific. Like right now, the idea of I send a message in the Slack channel, which is myself. It tracks that. It adds it to the invoice. Yes, but that implies that the person has the ability to plug in the app with their Slack. That means that you need to work with the Slack API to log in. That means that you need to also have like the connection with your invoice models things, which again, I think Google Sheets would be good with Figma having like the templates and Google Sheet data plugged in. But that's also an automation that you need to pay for. And all of that costs money for some reason. So right now, I would really go for something that is a personal strategy rather than a website that I build or an app that I create or something like on your end. Yeah, as in, here are the things that are in my current calendar for this week. That's what I've planned. And based on that, at the end of the day, at the end of like Monday, I'm supposed to have done that, and that. And I'm creating a sticky note, as in Google Keep sticky note with a checkbox, or if you are on like notes for your iPhone, same thing, like just that for Mondays. And I'm creating that on Mondays for like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, with the checkbox of the thing that I'm supposed to have done. And then at the end of Monday, I just check these things. And at the end of Tuesday, I check the thing that I've done. Maybe there is one that is reported to the next day. And it's just like a system on your end for yourself, by yourself, before you start building an app. Again, not against you building an app. I think it's a great idea. I just think that the problem that you're trying to solve right now is mostly like you need to organize how you track your time. And you can batch create. Like, that's something that we do when we create videos, for example, for YouTube or something like this, where we script on Monday, film on Tuesday, edit on Wednesday or Thursday, usually Thursday, publish the first one of the 15 video we've scripted on Monday on the Friday or on the Saturday. And then we basically have 10 to 15 videos already edited and done and ready to go in the pipeline for the next week or weeks, technically. So with what you already have, based on the thing that you have told me, of you have the content in your calendar with the tasks that are at hand for that project, with that project is supposed to be working or worked on that day for you and has a deadline on this day. But then on the next day, you have another project that has a deadline that is way further out. Right? You organize your time as you want, but at the end of the day, you just say, well, I worked on this thing plus this thing, maybe. I think that's like that's it. To me, it's about it. Like, that's, you know, that by the beginning of the week, you know what you're supposed to work on for this week or this month. And at the end of the day, it's just, did you do it? Yes. Did you do it? No. Cool. Yeah. And also the whole thing, calendar, is just not working for me. There is so many things that you haven't planned, not as you, but as a human in general, where you have things in your calendar that don't go the way that you want it to go. And again, if in your calendar you prepare or plan things like research, visual research, the amount of time that I'm here and I'm like, I was looking for something in terms of, you know, UI design, but I found this. This is pretty cool. To go in my fashion board. That's neat. Then let me take a look at that, and then I'm kind of derailed. Maybe I spent like 16 minutes on this thing. Then I go back to this, and I'm like, yeah, okay, cool. Let's go back into the character design, the research that I was doing. So I have like a bit of a better things. That's neat. And then I just continue into that research, which is still research. It's good. I could have stopped 16 minutes ago, but I'm still there. I'm still there looking at things, experimenting, all that. At the end of the day, I would have something that is pretty structural and good. it might not be exactly what I was looking for. So, I, you know, I think that's the issue for you is the derail. Like if the things is getting derailed, you are getting the end of the day to go back in your calendar and move the time slots, which is what you said 2 weeks ago, I think. Um, that's what pisses you off. You need to adjust the time that you spent on something, and because you basically spent less or spent more, or you move something else in. And that is, I I appreciate the rigorousness, the rigor that you have into tracking everything you do. That's really good. But I think you would benefit from not giving as much of a fuck about it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I did it. Again, if you don't, I'm in Figma right now. I know today I went into the No Mercy file. I moved these icons up because they were in a page just to showcase the icons, which was not the thing that was at real design. So I just moved them up. So that right now Stony can just take the icons and have or see how they are looking in the file. I've done that. I worked on this thing to take a look mostly at potentials for the badges like we did last time, like improvements. I also did something about the potentials for that card that I did last Monday. Done that. I looked at my specifics for the documentation here for the buttons. That was today. And I also took a look at some of the design detail that I've done and I showcased last week or last Monday on the stream for some of the things. That is all I have done on Figma today. And I also done when the stream started this thing to make sure that we had like a bit of a transition thing to check if it was working feasible in Figma. It is. It's not that good, but it's okay. That's all I did. I had like a meeting at 7:30 in the morning. I had Japanese class right after, and I had a pistachio cake.
Saramo89 is now following.
You know, all that. Sarah Moore, thanks a lot for the follow. How are you? Who are you? How did you find the stream? Welcome on in. So, again, this is a me thing. I think you should know what you've done on any given day. And you don't, I don't know. I don't know. But even if it's like 8 to 10 to 12 to 16 hours, also, yes, that's another thing. That is another thing, yes. But to me, it's really much this. If you don't have at the end of your day the ability to reflect on what you've done during that specific day, there's something that's not working. Like there is something that is missing in your way of remembering what you've done. Like it's the same thing as asking you, what did you eat yesterday? Do you know? Do you remember what you ate yesterday? That's a regular question. I know it's food related, but you know, that's the type of thing that you should be able to remember. And specifically, if it's like on the same day, are they? Uh, I think it's I think it's a habit of how you organize your Figma files. And maybe you can do the same thing as me, as in you don't close the tabs. Like, I need to work on these 4, 5, 6 projects for this week. So I have these 4, 5, 6 projects opened. And then I just navigate through them and change from project A to project B to project C. And sometimes go back to B, sometimes go back to D, just jumping around. And at the end of the day, I'm just checking, well, I've done that. I remember that. Cool. Good. Done. One Slack message. No need for your back and forth with like your calendar and your Figma file and your calendar and your Figma file, which is, as you said, what is not good, because the me thing, but it seems to be a you thing as well. Working with a calendar is not good. Not good. Maybe you need like a to-do list. Maybe that's all you need. Maybe you need like um, a splittable to-do list that says project name with like a checkbox and a sub checkbox list of these are the things that needs to be done for that project. And as soon as this thing is done, then the main checkbox is done. Kind of similar to the this, where you go into like your colors and you're like, well, I've done the accessibility, I've done semantic, I've done dark mode, and I've done the guidelines, and therefore this is completed. And so that's my project. That was the thing that I had to do for today or for that project specifically. And it's just a fucking checkbox list. And that's just saved. And so as long as this is maintained, like, that project A, you need to do these 4 things, these 16 things, these whatever things, and you're good to go. Like at the end, like these have 7 steps to do, Well, I feel like that should be good. That's something that I used to do in Figma directly. I think I might still have one for Stoney's website. We had the to-do list here, which we never kind of like never used. But we had this at some point. I used to do that as well in some of my previous files, where I added the thing that I had to do for the day, and it is just at the end of the day, did I do it? Yes. So you click the check button. That's it. That's the amount of complexity I need to have. And something like more complex than this, as in tracking stuff on my calendar, building an app to track what I've done today, I personally don't think it's a good idea. I think it's a good product idea. We say that. It's a really good product idea. I think it also has massive potential, financially speaking, to get good. But this exists. And this is exactly what you're trying to do without you having to do anything other than press that button of start your free trial, and then you're done. But then after that, you need to pay 100 and something per year. That's not that much. It also had task. It has roll-up tasks. You're trying to fix your problem by creating a new problem for yourself of building an app for the only problem that you seem to have, which is impressive. I am blown away. the only thing that you could come up with after almost a week of chatting about this was the only problem I have in my life right now that I need something to fix is my invoicing system that I know for a fact is not going to be a thing anymore in a month or two. So I am blown away. Like that. That's usually not what happens. Usually people are like, well, I should eat better or I should exercise more. So I need like a reminder app to give me like a bit of a boost at the end of the day or at the beginning of the day to go on a walk or something. No, you just like, I can't stand that currently I need to do back and forth in between my calendar app and my Figma file to check if the thing that I've put in my calendar app are in my Figma file. And so what I'm saying is just to take the thing that you have in your calendar file or app and put it in your Figma file by default. And then you're done. And you don't have that back and forth and you don't have to build an app for that. It's not necessary. But you know. Create like a component that makes sense to you. Matt, welcome back. How are you? How have you been? How's everything? Also, yes, it is early for you. Goddamn. Good morning. I've been up since 4:12 in the morning. Yes. I'm tired, but I'm good. But I'm tired as fuck. Goddamn. Don't ask why. I don't know why. I just woke up. It happened. Yeah, like build yourself. Then you build yourself like a component of a checkbox component. You have one here. Obviously, you have other tools that exist, and like you have. Isn't the plugin that CK did for Pomodoro stuff as task? Like the promo timer thing, I forgot. I forgot the name, obviously. Right, what is fucking name? He made like a catchy ass name again, right? But right now I forgot. Anyways, I'm sure that you could find like a to-do list. Like that. And that plugin on its own is gonna give you this. And you can have that run on your Figma file, and at the end of your day, you click on the plugin, you check what you have done, what you haven't done, and then you're good. I really think you are overcomplicating the problem at hand. So, and also apparently there is a ton of people that have done the exact same thing. So, like, that works best for you because the design is better. So like that's pretty good. you know. Ah, though I do appreciate the overcomplication of things. It's great for me. It's a lot of thinking. I love that. But the problem doesn't work with the potential solution. Um, like it could, but it doesn't. So debatable, debatable. I think there is a need for a level of complexity for what you're trying to achieve. Again, as I said on Monday, or level of expertise that you have that would result in its whole future. That is true. That is true. That is absolutely true. Um, that would result in an app. But yeah, weirdly enough, I can't find Figenda from the plugin bar. That is impressive. But non finding anything. Yeah, so it's not even a to-do list. It's a timer-based list. So you could have something that says, I have 3 hours on that project, like project 1, 3 hours, run that. And I have project 2, 3 hours as well. And then maybe some research. And have these timers running in the background while you're, doing things. Did you do other things after that? I don't think he did. Yeah, he didn't. Um, you know, I think the simplicity is going to be pretty good. Having something like this, having one of the plugins run while you're working on the thing would be really beneficial for you at the end of the day. And I mean, it doesn't take a lot of time. It's something that you already have. And even if I were to listen to what my brain is telling me right now, get yourself one of these and write down on paper what you've done. Like it takes, again, it takes like 6 seconds to potentially do like I mean, I don't have any fucking page available. Um, it is a sketch notebook from Sketch directly. Goodies. Like, you can go in there and you just say, okay, that's task 1, task 2, task 3, task 4. Guess what? I have like 4 tasks done. And then I do that on every beginning of the weeks, maybe. I'm planning out 3 pages of checkboxes. And then on the Monday, I'm saying, well, today I'm going to do that, that, and that. And I'm just making sure that I have like my text, and maybe sometimes it's a bit longer than expected. So, you know, making them like a tad bit longer, potentially. And then at the end of the day, I'm gonna just go there and I say, well, I worked on that for 2 hours, roughly. I worked on that for 1 hour. Maybe this one was like 2 hours as well. and that's it. I have my time. I have what I've done. I have what project is linked to because I know the name of the fucking thing. That's it. That's it. Even faster than having a tool. You know. uh, I get it though. Get it. I think right now, hmm, there is this thing happening where people are all having the QR code scanner Buy European app. This is a free app. It's probably going to have ads on it, and that person is going to make banks. There's the same one for the Canadian. There is probably the same thing. You could create something that is Buy Italian, right? That's like profit driven. But there are opportunities for creating tools and products often. And it's just a matter of, can you do it at the right time? But again, I think if you don't have the need, um, like, yeah. Like if you know that it's feasible and you have the need for it and you know that it doesn't exist, build something. That's usually my, go back to your initial question from 2 weeks ago. How do I decide when to build something? It's, I search for this thing, it doesn't exist. I can't find it. Or maybe if it exists, I haven't found it, so it's not discoverable. And therefore, that's kind of bad. And then if or when I build a thing, the only reason that I'm building it is because it is fixing an issue that I have, or it is fixing an issue that I've seen from other people. But yeah, it's like, I would love, for example, I would love to build physical tools again, or physical elements, as in the Stream Deck, for example, is something that I like. But I think it could be better in a different layout. The key light from Elgato as well, I do like most of them, but there are some articulated arms that I would love to see as physical hardware on my desk. And these are things that I would love to go and build. However, even though I have the background in mechanical engineering, to build the prototype and create like the drawings, the schemes, all of that, the blueprints, I don't have the tools, I don't have the team, and I don't have the money to check with suppliers to potentially build something like that. That's a lot of things that I don't have, which implies that I'm not doing it. But if I had, I would probably be building things like smartwatches, jewelries, phones, bit like this. Because I can't. I have the skills for that. But it is, yeah, more complex. But more costly overall, So I guess that's the thing. Yeah. Do that, maybe do that instead of building an app. Like carve a spoon. You've seen that. That's gonna be easier to do. That's gonna be a thing that you can do. potentially. And, you know, I think that's a good thing. But yeah, I'm really impressed by the fact that you don't have any other thing that came to mind immediately and said, "Oh yeah, 100%. Um, that's the thing that I need to fix in my daily life for sure, for sure." Yeah, I mean, you can always fix people. But yeah, I get it. I get it. There's so much things like that. I know it doesn't make any sense to most of the people that are here, but there are so much things that are like stream related that I would love to have as tools. Um, Maybe you don't have any problems, which is pretty impressive. I mean, I'm impressed by that. Where, for example, the camera right now, it's here, and when I'm in Japan and I'm having it on the arm, I can move it around because it's the cables are long enough. I can play with that, which is really fun for me to have the ability to move the camera around. And yesterday I was thinking about building or putting the camera upside down on this thing and mounting it on the shelf that is just above, so that I have it on a rail so that I can move it from side to side. Um, that would be really fun to do for me, but the implementation um, is pretty neat. I have 6 arms on top of these 2, which is the joke that you were trying to make. But yeah, I have like 6 different arms: mic, camera, Elgato arms. So yeah, I could build stuff. It's just like this desk is not meant for quick movement. Yeah, hi. You arrived late. I see. God damn it. Oh, yeah, damn. Oh. Did you take a nap? Is that what happened? You took a nap? And then you forgot? I see. I see. You know. Mhm, mhm. Anyways. Oh, goddamn. I am so tired. I need sleep. I'm seeing that Theo is live. He doesn't need the raid, but, you know, I don't think so. Um, not much. Not much live. Vash just came in? No, Vash is in. It's been a while. We're gonna do that. We're gonna do that. We're gonna send you to Vash because it's been days, years. Long time. They woke up at 4:20. Not on purpose. On purpose. And I need sleep. But yeah, as always. Thanks a lot for being here. Appreciate it. The VOD is gonna be on YouTube. That happens. If you have questions and not live, you can join the Discord. And yeah, I shall be back on Friday. You know, the usual thing. If you want to learn Japanese, use that. It's really good. If you want to give me some money, appreciate it as well. Why you like it? Nonetheless, take care of yourself. Enjoy the rest of your day. Eat something, drink something, you know, be kind to each other. And apparently, Denny, you won, which is impressive. Only at 40. Lol. You did make the channels? Cool. We can take a look at that on Friday. That would be good. That would be good. Oh, I'm so tired. Anyways, bye.